Got y'all looking up at the ceiling for one. But I am feeling a little or a lot. How they say perturbed. No, main thing got me feeling. One of the things that got me feeling good this morning is, of course, God on my side. God woke me up, and I'm here and I'm pushing through. But I'm eating some fruit. That's the other thing. The disappointment in that is when it arrived from Instacart services. The ice cream that I ordered with it was all spilled all over the fruit containers and stuff like that. So no, I don't appreciate that. Um, Also, just still, of course, I'm feeling still disappointed from the other day. Again, even though I knew it was coming, well, potentially coming, I'm just disappointed. But like I said before, it was a response to something that I had, you know, I got rights to speak on and request and stuff like that. I promise, I just never thought in a million years that I would be feeling like I'm going back and forth with the neighbors that I've been feeling like I've been going back and forth with. If anything, I thought that they would, you know what I'm saying, go on and focus on living their life, but they didn't. So it is what it is. My thing, I go back to the person who did give them the invite, or whatever, the spiritual invite and the natural, maybe even natural, to try to bother with me and tamper with me. That person is no longer sitting over here being able to watch me or anything. As far as if God puts me on their mind, their heart, their dreams or anything like that, I pray God, cause I mean, I don't give the enemy the permission to use me in people's dreams or anything like that. If I'm in your dream, it needs to be from God. They do not need to be from the enemy. But so I don't know. But again, I can trace it back to that person starting it. So funny because the person who was doing that, this lady, the one who's trying to go back and forth with me or whatever, she used to speak her name in an irritated type of way or worse. I didn't get in their stuff and whatever it was. I didn't go against somebody else because of what somebody else told me or whatever. Maybe I, took note and took heed, But for me, it was just already on the inside that I wasn't supposed to get up close and personal with this person, and the person is so seemingly welcoming and stuff like that, but just really venomous. Uh, it really is detrimental because the person just sways back and forth on. It's basically double-minded, unstable-minded, and all that, and so they'll say one thing in 1 minute, and then so they basically try to pull me into that as well. And honestly, even fruit is letting fruit of the spirit and all that. But me trying to consistently eat fruit and stuff like that, that just, hopefully that signifies that I'm trying to be healthy in some aspects. I mean, in all aspects, but at least I'm starting somewhere, and I'm trying to finish well, you know. But as in, definitely well done, not good and faithful servant. But I'm just, what I'm saying, during this life, doing on this side as well, like, So that's that. So then last night we had a little disturbance because somehow a freaking rodent got in here, and that didn't start happening until 2015, where my dryer caught on fire, and then behind it in the wall there was there's an area where the little rodents started getting in. And I don't know how they left that, opened up. Well, that's when I noticed it, should I say. It could have been happening before, but I only noticed it 2015. Well, 2016, really. And so, yeah, one got in here last night, but I had covered that little area and little spot up because something kept on, another one kept trying to come in, whether it was it was in 2020, I believe, and I covered the spot up. But I don't know. And this one was a smaller one, baby type, but it don't matter. I don't like none of them. And yeah, and I just don't like rats. I don't like rats. I mean, some would say in the natural sense. I don't really be caring about them in the natural sense, as far as how people consider. Oh, I don't like rats. I don't like people that's ratting people out. I don't like. It's one thing if you're a rat, and I don't even want to call anybody a rat, but if you're telling somebody and you well within your rights, and and to me, you actually telling on somebody because you want a resolve and you want peace, you want something better done, and the person actually did something to offend you, like not, what I'm saying, not just anything petty, then yeah, but I don't care for that other stuff. Like I said, I'm not a no snitching queen, and I don't live by the no snitch law or movement. But I don't gotta sit around here just telling stuff just to be telling. It's a lot of stuff that just to be handled amongst one another. But a lot of people don't like to do that, so it is what it is. I promise, honey, I will get this fruit. This mixed melons, this cantaloupe, honeydew melon, and watermelon, and will not eat none of these cantaloupe because I just don't care for them. And the honeydew melon and this ain't even that sweet. The watermelon was the sweetest thing on here today. But anyway, feels good. Starting my morning off eating breakfast, eating fruit as breakfast. Nothing heavy, even though I can every now and then go for some sausage, eggs, grits, pancakes, all that. But I don't know. I'm kind of feeling the type of way that my daughter got this certain experiences, honestly, but it was a certain experience specifically that I'm like, wait a minute, it almost feel like people trying to trade me out for her and stuff like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't care for it. At the same time, I know that I'm not going around these people, but I still feel like don't try to put my daughter into y'all stuff. But again, I just hold my daughter's so-called dad accountable and his mom, because if she's under that roof, then it's what they allow or choose. If it's what he or she has chosen to allow my daughter to do. But it's still been disorderly. It's been madness. It's been, some craziness. But yeah, I'm still feeling disappointed about, like I said, what happened the other day. I was now at this point, well, I've been wanting to see, God resolve, but at this point, I definitely just like, Lord, please just help me to be secure in knowing that something has been done or is being done or whatever. I thought it was, I mean, and I believe it was, but there was times when God was putting me in a deep sleep, and I wouldn't get up and until after certain things occurred. But yeah, I wouldn't get up until after certain things occurred. And I knew it was him, and I was even feeling drowsy and stuff like that. I remember myself feeling drowsy. I'm like, why am I feeling drowsy at this? It was a certain time. And I just, it was a godly drowsiness, but he put me in a sleep, and I just didn't know what was going on or whatever, and couldn't get up and wake up until he allowed me to, which is a good thing. that right there let you know he on the throne, and he is the one that be waking you up every morning, honey. There ain't no need of not acknowledging that. I mean, if anybody was ever doubting that, but I don't ever doubt that. I be thankful, honey. God wake me up, my heart's still beating, my brain's still working, functioning. And then speaking of that, the person I talked to recently was telling me that they take these medications and stuff as far as grieving, I guess. And of course, it gives them these like ill type of feelings or thoughts or whatever, or emotions. And that was one thing that I was like trying to avoid. Being prescribed certain stuff and starting to feel that imbalance or get that type of imbalance or whatever. And that's why I just used venting and stuff like that, or audio journals and recording as like just therapeutic for me. I've even had I've had, what were they? I guess they were like no, I don't want to call it social worker. They told me what they were, but I can't remember exactly what it is. But I've had two. I had a black female and I had a white male, and it was different yet the same. Everybody had credentials and stuff like that. So, but but it just didn't last with them. I don't mind talking to people, but I think I do start feeling, I guess it's like a paranoia or whatever. I do start feeling a little paranoid after a month or 2 months or maybe even 3, but I don't even think it usually don't even make it to like 3 months. I start feeling a little paranoid after what is it? After talking to them for a little while, because that's, you're opening up and letting people into your life and stuff like that, and I just start feeling like I'm letting you know too much, and and of course being taken, people trying to take advantage of me before, and I ain't gonna say that I have never been taken advantage of. I'm just trying this kind of level to see. It's not terrible. It's just I don't be wanting. But I need to start eating all these fruit, I guess. I don't know what the benefits to cantaloupe is, because I don't be on it. But I think it's sweeter than the honeydew melon today, so I'm eating it. Anyway. It still got a little off taste about it. Like, nah, you don't need to do that. But yeah, what was I saying before that? But yeah, for trying to take advantage of me or whatever. And I noticed it quick. Oh, and that's what I was gonna say too. I just definitely been on alert, high alert, even oftentimes. And I mean, I thank God, but it just be like, oh Lord, now you can see things in a magnified type of way. I don't know, man. These cantaloupes still got a funny little taste to it. Okay, I ate like 4 of them. I can't do it. I mean, I'm sure I can, but I don't want to eat all them. Yeah. What was I saying? Just been on high alert and stuff like that. But it's tiresome and it's exhausting too. It feels exhausting to do that. Even though I'm doing it. And that's how I know I'm not doing it in my own strength and my own power. Because I keep going. Even though I be feeling real tired. And I definitely don't want to experience no burnout and stuff like that. So that's when I'm like, okay, I gotta mellow on out. But God allows me to see certain enemies very clear. I mean, not all of them, but definitely. And sometimes I might just overlook or miss it. But He allows me to see certain stuff and certain people for who they really are, and even identify and all of that. And then after that, I just be like, but I don't know what else to do besides speak death to the spirit, of course. And I just be feeling like if the person who's allowing that, that entity or whatever to what is it basically make a habitat within their vessel, then they need to go with it. And again, even go back to my boys so-called dad, where I'd be like, you wanted to hold on to your mom so much or whatever, as opposed to the ones that was living and stuff like that. And you wanted even people in your life, I guess, that was going to, I guess, either remind you of your mom or do things that your mom did. When she's gone, then I be feeling like you need to follow suit. And I still just feel like, to this day, I don't try to wish, and it's so crazy because I don't wish no ill will on him, but I do. It's kind of almost like he's one, and I'm like, can you put him out of his misery? Because he seems like it's some misery or whatever. I guess maybe misery from grieving, maybe misery from cards that life has dealt. And me personally, I can relate to that. But even the person that's deceased in my life, and again, that person was a major, component, major help in my life while they were living. But I don't have to try to follow them to the grave or, what I'm saying, tug and pull it, trying to pull them back out the grave or anything like that. I mean, even the people that try to associate with me with that person or whatever, or they were once associated with the person, and even again, I was close to this person. I don't want to do all that. I don't get wrapped up in that. If I told one person we need to focus on the ones that's alive, I wasn't denying, your hey, if you need to go visit somebody that's on life support, you feel like you need to go see them. And I don't know whether they was brain dead, this, that, this, that, and the third. But if you feel like you need to go see them that one last time or whatever, go ahead. If you feel like you need to go to their funeral, go ahead. But just in doing so, can you still focus on the living? Like, the living are still here. And it was just too much emphasis on death and death-oriented stuff. But yeah, and still, we still got people who have life and breath and stuff. And I don't know, it just bothered me. It's like, because you can't do anything with a dead vessel, or even, I guess, even, and barely, the near death, the one that's on life support or whatever. And key word right there, they're on life support. Like, they need support to continue living. And so I spoke that to somebody before, and I meant it then. And so, I don't turn around and change up just because it's somebody that's, I guess seemingly close, not even seemingly, but, seemingly closer to me. Proximity, blood related, or whatever. But still, yet, could be so far because ideals are different, mindsets are different, and honestly, just people. I watched this movie last night. It's called Timmy Failure. He was just like, ignore them. They're just jealous. And I really, it seemed like he was kind of uppity and full of himself and stuff like that. But really, he got a point. They bother you a lot of times because they envy you. They try to mess with you and try to bring you down to a certain level that they feel that they're at, and you carry yourself like royalty and stuff like that. And I'm speaking that right now about my daughter. Like, I just pray that she is carrying herself like royalty, like definitely a little princess. Don't necessarily have to be that, but whatever royalty, should I say, whatever royalty is in the eyes of God, however that looks. Just praying that for my daughter right now. Speaking of my daughter, like I was saying, going places where I almost feel like I should have been invited and going, and it was definitely a place that I would have enjoyed. But like I said, the main thing was I feel like y'all trying to put my daughter in a certain place and position of me. Now, I don't feel like that's right. It's like I was there and I was at that place and I brought my daughter to, I took my daughter and went along with them first. I don't know if it was the same building or whatever, but now y'all, it seemed like it's underhanded to me, and it's awkward, definitely, but it really seems like it's some sinister type of stuff, and I just don't care for it. And it's the people, it's also the people who's doing it, or who have, what I'm saying? I can understand my child wanting to go somewhere, but I can also understand you enforcing, no, we probably don't want to do that, but they didn't, and what I'm saying? And again, these are the same people that had basically contributed to me killing off a child when I was 17 years old, and just more impressionable, more, easily influenced and persuaded and stuff by. It took 3 people, and that was even then. I'm telling you, it took so many people just to basically try to convince me. So imagine it probably take like 100 people at this point in time. 50, I would say 50. But that doesn't mean that I'm not easily persuaded nor convinced. But, that was me trying to take a stand and stand for something. Because again, now you're gonna fall for anything. But now I have God, so God is more than 50 people, more than 100 people, more than 1,000,000 people, more than the 7 billion people, more than all that He's created. So you have that power. It's just that's what it is, and you have that power backing you because you're in right standing, or you doing what you're supposed to do. You being obedient. And it's just nothing. Everything else definitely pales in comparison. So don't try to compare nor compete. But I just felt the type of way about that, so I'm just mentioning it. I have not been complaining on the Blue app. I just shut my mouth, and I guess maybe it was just God's gentle reminder of something that He's already told me before. It was a point in time where I felt like I don't need to like nothing, I don't need to share nothing, I don't need to do this, and I'm kind of back to that. Even though I still have a desire to share. I mean, because I've been on that thing since, like they said, they claim. I thought it was 2006, but it was definitely 2007. They say January of 2007. So whatever. So I've been on there since then, and I just feel like they deleted some of my stuff from 2006. I ain't gonna cap you. Then I come across some stuff with my son. I like that he will speak up for himself, and that he will share. He's not afraid to share his opinion and stuff. Sometimes his opinions and stuff is not so pleasant, and I'd be like, is it really? And that's what I meant to tell him. Is it really necessary what you have to say and stuff like that? Is it, so I need to talk to him about that, but I just like and he said somebody had the audacity to say something to him, but I like his audacity. I like that, what he does. He's definitely making me a proud mom, even though it sometimes it get on my nerves a little bit, the individual that he is, but the fact that I know that he got certain stuff from his mom and his so-called dad, that I just be like, oh yeah, speaking of that, I hadn't had to dip into my little money or whatever that I was drawing some nice little interest on, and I just feel a type of way about that. But I'm gonna keep going. What else was it? I just wanted to mention that about my son, and I spoke about my daughter, but all my children, I just pray that they know who they are in God, and they know what royalty is in the eyes of God. And then I was thinking about something as far as people talking about common sense, and the fact that I feel like I'm not a commoner, and I'm very uncommon, and of course in a good way. And so many people have felt like they were so superior to me and this, that, and the third, when I wasn't even thinking about them. I wasn't even caring that they existed to begin with. And but yeah, I'm not comparing myself to them. It's just what's been said to me. I just take that, and I'm like, I'm not a common person though. What do you? It's a girl on social media. I think her name is Tanisha Watson. She be doing. She always have her fur coat. She always get her husband to bring her drinks and stuff, and she just always got to what some would consider extra and definitely uppity. And I love that about her. It's her comedy skits and stuff. But you never know if she carried herself like that in real life. Well, I don't know, and I ain't mad at it. Treat yourself special, very special, and that doesn't mean look down and treat anybody else any type of way, but treat yourself special. Hallelujah. One thing about it, God is good. Oh, thank you, God. Yes, in the sea, gonna have Sada na high shaka, na high fortune, the low she on that she gonna shake it on Handa she gonna high, Sayada Roshia, Ikarana high, Koranda sea. Hallelujah. It is Sunday, ain't it? No, I'm just playing. I mean, every day is. If it was like that for me, every day would be Sunday, because I'm gonna talk to the Lord. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna, a little device is a little dusty. I'm gonna pray and do all that good stuff. Period. But especially when He move on me, and then I actually sat up in my seat, because when He moved and empowered me, I'm sitting up. I'm paying attention. I'm like, thank you, Lord, because I definitely need you. I need Him, and I appreciate them, and of course I love them. I'm so grateful. So I sit up on the edge of my seat, and not in a bad way. Of course, it's like let me pay attention, and whether it's paying attention throughout this day or just even in this moment, because some of the stuff that's coming out my mouth is just, I mean, most all of it is very significant, and sometimes I just be feeling like I just be talking for the sake of talking, but I know I don't try to do stuff in vain. I don't, and that's why I'm like, Lord, for you to move on me to not post anything on Facebook, uh, and then and do other certain things. I know it's some type of purpose, which is good. I'm glad I'm at the point where I can pretty much resist that urge or whatever to post stuff. Like I say, it's a good 99%, but that little 1% be trying to slip up, or that small percentage be trying to slip up, get me to slip up, should I say? Also, I don't know. What else? What's also Lord? Ooh, 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 ooh. Mm. Aye da 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 shi anda si kona hai koranda si anda si anda shi kona hai koranda si se kera na. One thing I'm thinking about when I do put this pool back up, how I'm gonna turn. I'm just gonna try to turn it. Shoot, I hope it's not too long, but I'm gonna try to turn it the opposite direction than what I got it now. Just the pool. Of course, the gazebo gonna have to stay like it's staying, but I'm gonna try to do that because I want it like that, kind of, sort of, a little bit. Um, and see what we're working with like that. I'm just trying to see how to position it. Even just in my mind, I'm thinking about how am I gonna position it to know how I got it now, and I feel like now the way I got it, I should have left more room on the opposite side than I left more room. But because I was trying to still sit in my gazebo, but I didn't want to walk on that side or anything. But then stuff changes on a daily, on how I rearrange stuff and stuff like that. Anyway, one thing about it, God knows what else is coming up the pipeline that could possibly disappoint me, and or worse. Hopefully not the worst, but I'm hoping for better. Okay, Lord, the disappointment came. I had my daughter here and stuff like that. Then next thing I know, the disappointment came. And so now, whereas of course, I'm ready just to get to the point where it's like, Lord, just keep the excitement in a good way, not the crazy stuff. Keep the excitement coming. Keep the positive things coming. The good things. Definitely divine, according to the will of God. Not these diviners and this other stuff, but Hayeda da Handa shi Sakana Hai so Sana Hai so Handa shi. Oh yes, Lord. Sakayai Fonaha Shakai Taranahai so say Isha. Hallelujah. I always give God a hand praise. Oh, I can do better than that. Definitely. But I had some dream. I couldn't think about it. But yeah, that little rodent got in. So then me and my boys was feeling scared and stuff like that. They woke me up out of my sleep last night because it got in, and it was a tiny little thing, but still, it got in, and showed forth or whatever. Trying to catch it now. Got some little stuff to be able to catch it. And then we all slept together in the same place, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it wasn't the worst. If I had to do it every night, I'd be, oh Lord, I wouldn't feel like the uncommoner that I am. But it was something. But I mean, it was fine. But imagine if it was me, my daughter, and my sons had to sleep on it, on that together. Sheesh. That would have been like out of control. um, but you know, some people really do have to do that or live like that or whatever. Even in these days, I know that some people way back in the times and stuff definitely had to share one room, share, you know, bunk bed, share this, that, and the third. And even looking at Michael Jackson in them house, it's the 2 bedroom. It was so small. But now, you know, the place where he lived, is abandoned now. You know, the Neverland Ranch, and I just be thinking about stuff like that. You got this big old place, and I don't know if he allowed anybody else to live with him or anything like that. But you got this big old place, and now he's deceased, and now nobody's there. I'm assuming. And that just like kind of just blows me that y'all can have all this money and stuff like that, and other people can seriously be going without. You can have the talent, that's good. If you was born with the talent, you didn't necessarily work terribly hard. Now I'm not saying that he didn't work hard at all, but I'm just saying you didn't work hard to get it. It's something that was God given to you, and I don't know. I'm not gonna speak deeply on Michael Jackson's life because I haven't done enough research. I've seen things, heard things, and of course I have been entertained by him. But I just think about stuff like that. I think about, I mean, you can go back to the Chris Watts story and stuff like that, where y'all had this nice house, this nice neighborhood. Y'all got 2 girls, and you was about to have a boy. Why would you mess that up? Now your house, I don't know if somebody stays in there now, but now your house is vacant. People gonna always notice somebody got killed in that house. What else was it? And just even cars. Some people get cars and they wreck them, or some people get cars and they get flooded, and this, that, and the third, and just things that I guess I feel like maybe I desire, and I feel like I ain't gonna say I would take. I don't necessarily want to say I would take better care of them, but I just would appreciate it, I guess, more. Yeah, just be like, Lord, I'm gonna be wanting to say, Lord, you might have gave that to the wrong person, or you might have allowed for the wrong person to have that. But I try to be careful with that because I don't want to covet anything. But I ain't gonna sit here in front and I be thinking like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what today brings, and like I said, God knows what will come up the pipeline. I'm just hoping for better. Because the day I looked at something about bees, like no sooner than I finished watching stuff about bees, I got stung by a bee. I got stung by a bee. My younger son got stung by a sweat bee the next day. And we was kind of waiting on my other son to kind of sort of get stung, but it never happened. It skipped over him, and I'm thankful for that. And then I had told my daughter about it too, and showed her and stuff. That thing got me good though. A carpenter bee. And those are the ones that I be telling my kids, they don't bother you, they come out in the springtime and this, that, and the third. But yeah, it climbed up and it got up in my pants some type of way when I was trying to help them with the pool and stuff, and then that was that. It's June now. I'm gonna probably try to put that pool back up by mid-July, or I don't think it's gonna be the 1st of July, but definitely mid-July, or something like that. I don't want to wait until August, but definitely mid-July-ish. Just to give my ground and stuff kind of a break. And speaking of break, I gotta go break the pool down some more, get the rest of that little bit of water out, and yeah. Other than that, I'm glorifying God. I got some stuff that I probably need to watch and stuff like that. So that's what I'm getting ready to go on to. And I will holler at y'all later.